Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my December TBR, 19 books. Yes, I've done it again. I've set myself a massive TBR, but you guys well know that even though it's big, I will normally read about 30 books a month anyway, at least 33. But I'm always determined to keep it lower. I used to start off my TBRs with like 15 books as the maximum, and that kind of has grown this year, but I'm going to in January dip it. January might not be able to be dipped too much because I'm doing a read along. The announcement will be out next month. At the start of December, the announcement will be out for the read along. But yeah, starting the year with a read along. So it's 19 books on this TBR, plus I'm continuing with Anne of Cleves, Queen of Secrets, which is for the Tudoralong. My plan is, though, to get over halfway through this before the start of December. So I'm going to read a little bit more in December, but it'll be over. Most of it will be read in November because December's TBR is so massive. So that's my goal. I've only got 2 buddy reads. Again, going forward, I'm planning to cut my buddy reads right down because that's just something, it works a lot easier if I can just mood read and just go for it. One of the buddy reads is a book that I'm going to be doing my first ever buddy read with Becky from Teacup Storyteller, and it is My True Loves Gave to Me. It's 12 winter romances. What I want to do is and look at the pages, so cute. It's full of I think they're YA Christmas stories. So they're books that are included by Holly Black, Ali Carter, Matt De La Pena, Gail Foreman, Jenny Han, David Levitian, Kelly Link, Myra Maguire, Stephanie Perkins, Rainbow Rowell, Lane Taylor and Kristen White. I've only read books by Rainbow Rowell and Jenny Han, but I have heard of the other, and Gail Foreman I think, but I have heard of the other authors. So it's not a long book, it's about 350 pages, just over. I'm going to aim to read these nearer Christmas time and read like a story at a time sort of thing, but I'll talk to Becky and arrange the exact thing. So that's my first buddy read, and then I've got one, A Gentleman in Moscow, which was on my winter books to be read, which I will link that down below. And this, like I said, I talked a lot about it on the winter books to be read. But this is set in June in 1922. Oh, so I don't know why it's December, but it's Moscow, so it's quite sort of cold and it looks quite wintry. And it's a recipient of the Order of St Andrew, a member of the Count Alexander Rostov is the recipient of the Order of St Andrew, member of the Jockey Club, master of the hunt, and he's escorted out of the Kremlin, across Red Square and through the elegant revolving doors of the Hotel Metropole. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to try and read this at the start of the month. That's why I've got to let Gemma know, and we'll be ready to read it together. But yeah, even though that one is a big one, it's like nearly 500 pages. But it's historical fiction, but it's nothing like all the other ones. So that's that. Now, for the TBR jar, I've only got 2 books left in it. Which book does not get chosen in this is going into the TBR jar for next year. I will be doing a video in December of the 13th. It will be 12 books added on to this book of the books that we'll be reading next year. The rule is a book can go in the TBR jar twice, but any more than that, it gets unhauled. That's it. So I've got a choice of Blackbird or And the Stars Were Burning Brightly. One's non-fiction, one's YA. See which one the TBR jar picks. I'm going to be honest with you, and that's the one I've picked. I don't have a clue which one it is. And the Stars Are Shining Brightly. So that is the YA book, which means Blackbird is going onto my TBR jar for next year. So that will be included. I will probably tell you about it again next year, in the TBR jar pick. But this is the TBR jar pick, and it's And the Stars Were Burning Brightly. It is apparently a very emotional book. I remember reading about it quite a lot. It's nearly 400 pages, but it is going to be an emotional one. It's going to break me. It's got my favourite colour though. When 15-year-old Nathan discovers that his older brother Al has taken his own life, his whole world is torn apart. Al was special, Al was talented, Al had so many dreams, so why did he do it? Convinced that his brother-in-law is in trouble, Nathan decides to retrace Al's footsteps. As he does that, he meets Megan, Al's former classmate, who is as determined as Nathan to keep Al's memory alive. Together they start seeking answers, but will either of them be able to handle the truth about Al's death when they eventually discover what happened? It's about love, loss, and the importance of speaking up when all you want to do is shut down. This looks like it's going to kill me, but it does look good. I will probably try and get this read probably at the start of the month if I can, because I don't really think it's a Christmas book, but we'll see. Now, I probably have arranged my videos in the wrong order, in the fact that you all know I've been talking about this Dickens Project for a while, but the first book, the announcement video for that is coming out tomorrow, and it's not a read-along. I'm not doing it as a readathon. I will already tell you, it's my Dickens Project, because Katie from Books and Things is running her own readathon for the Katie for this, and I will link Katie's channel down below, and she talks about the fact she's reading all of Dickens' books over 2 years. I am making sure that I've finished all her books. So a lot of them I've already read, her main novels, but I'm starting the project in December with Bleak House. I'm reading it in 1 month, which is going to kill me, because a lot of her other books I'm reading over 2 months. But this is nearly 800 pages. No, it's about 740 pages. And it's good. It looks really, really good. I've heard, yes, it's exactly 740 pages. It will be read over the whole course of the month. So I'm going to be reading over the 4 weeks. And I'm going to be reading someone in chunks, basically. That's what someone else used a very good word. It's into EP something on, but I can't think. This is apparently supposed to be Bleak House. Is Tori from Good Strong Words read it in October, and she said it was amazing. She said it's like a mystery story, and this says it's a mystery story that fully engages the reader in the work of detection. So it's a mystery, which he's really good at, and it's got some fun things and it's got some sad. It's got a black comedy, apparently, a cosmic fast, and a tragic ruin. I do not want to know too much more than that. Dickens divides the narrative between his heroine, Esther Summerson, who is psychologically interesting in her own right, and an unnamed narrator whose perspective both complements and challenges her. I am really looking forward to this book. It is apparently supposed to be one of Dickens' best books, but it's called Bleak House. It looks wintry, so that's why I decided to read it in December. So that will be read over the whole course of the month. Now, I've got my next book in the Page Tune books. It's actually the first one out of all of them that I've read in not too distantly. This is If You Could Go Anywhere. And it's about, I remember reading this, I bought this full price. This was the first one of her books that I started buying full price. And this is, Angie has always wanted to travel, but at 27, she's barely stepped outside her small mining town in Australia. But instead she discovers the world through stories, which is perfect for us. It might be a perfect book for this month. And she is stories told by passing travellers, dreaming of one day that she'll see it herself. But when her grandmother passed away, leaving Angie with no remaining family, she is ready to start her own adventures, and she finds a letter revealing the address of a father she never knew. And she goes to Italy. Chris has got family. Chris's mum's half Italian, so this is going to be quite interesting. And I remember my dad went to Italy a few times when he was alive. So I'm really looking forward to finding this and reading this. It's a Page Tune book. It's not a Christmas book. I will say, by the way, that even though I've got 19 books on this TBR, I have got 2 extra books that I plan to get to. One is Page Tune's short stories. It's her Christmas stories. So if I get time, which I'm aiming to, I will be reading that pretty much for definite. And there was another one that my sister Charlie bought me, a Penguins book on Christmas stories. That's another one that's not on this set TBR, but I'm aiming to get it read. But I don't want to, even though I know I want to read them, and they will probably get read, I can't kind of put it in my head to put them on my TBR, if that makes any sense. The next series book, onto a different subject, the next series book is Nightingale Wedding Bells. And this is by Donald Douglas. I thought this would be a book I was supposed to be reading in November, but it's actually the December book. And that's about, and this is the last book in all that series. I'm now getting rid of all the books because I don't need to keep them all. And this is basically the sequel to November's book, which I would have wrapped up in November's TBR, November wrap-up part 1. I will try and link this if I can. This is about Anna, Grace and Dulcie, who we'd set in the book before that, which was A Nightingale Christmas Carol, I think. I can't remember which one it was. And then Anna is basically getting, I can't really tell you too much, but she's going to be meeting Edward when her sweetheart returns from the front line. This is set in World War I. And then caring for shell-shocked soldiers brings untold challenges for Grace and her parents, who have very different dreams of her future. And then Dulcie's in this, and she was only briefly in the last book, and she set her sights firmly on her own happy ending. And sometimes you find love when you least expect it. But the last of this book, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Then as I always put, one non-fiction at least and one thriller. And my non-fiction book is I thought I would do something that's a bit different. And this is A Dog Called Hope, a wounded warrior and a dog who dared to love him. And it's got pictures, it's non-fiction, it's by Jason Morgan with Damian Lewis. Damian Lewis is a famous actor. And this is about when Special Ops soldier Jason Morgan awoke from a months-long coma. He's told he'll never walk again. Discovered face down in a Central American swamp after a jungle mission goes wrong. He had a smashed spine, collapsed lung, and countless broken bones. It was a miracle he even survived. Months of painful surgery followed, with Jason's life balanced on a knife edge. Released from hospital in a wheelchair and plagued by memory loss, Jason's life fell apart. Left alone to raise his 3 infant sons, all hope seemed lost until Jason met Nepal, a handsome as hell black Labrador provided by a special charity. And that's about their story. So again, it's probably going to break me. It's got pictures in it. You all know it's got disability record obviously in it. Nearly 400 pages. It's going to break me, but I really wanted to read it, so that's what I'm going to read. Next one's kind of irony. It's about the mother-in-law, which is by Sally Hepworth. I've loved Sally Hepworth books. My mother-in-law's, me and Chris aren't actually married, so we've been together for a very long time, but mother-in-laws, well, that's the subject we don't really want to talk about too much. When they first meet, Lucy's mother-in-law, Diana, never really approved of her. That was 5 years ago. Now Diana has been found dead, a suicide note near her body claiming she no longer wanted to live because of a battle of breast cancer. But an autopsy finds no cancer. The autopsy does find traces of poison and suffocation. Why would Diana lie? Okay, this looks really thrilling, exciting. It's not a long book, actually this one is quite good, because it's only just over 300 pages. It looks quite good. Then a book that I can't remember if I put it on my winter list, but it's a book that I wanted to read. I bought it at full price because I heard quite a few booktubers like it. My sister Charlie loved it. And that is The Paper Palace. I have spoken about this in other videos. It is, I think it's well known. It's on the shortlisted for the Women's Prize or longlisted. It was on one of the Prize Award books. And my sister Charlie read it and she thought it was amazing. And yeah, on a perfect August morning, Elle Bishop heads out for a swim in the pond below the Paper Palace, her family's holiday home in Cape Cod. As she dives beneath the water, she relives a passionate encounter that she had the night before. Against the side of a house she knows all her darkest secrets, while her husband and mother chat with their guests inside. So begins a story that unfolds over 24 hours and 50 years, as Elle's shocking betrayal leads to a decision that will change her life forever. A lot of people love this, but it is supposed to be emotional, so I will read it with my head open. Now onto the Christmas books. These are all, I've got quite a lot of Christmas books, and I will probably break them up and over the whole month, because to me, Christmas starts the 1st of December. So I will start one of these Christmas books on the 1st of December. But it won't be this one, because this is Heidi Swain's latest book. This is the one that I'm literally saving for Christmas, because it is the last in the series, the most recent in this Windsor Hall series. I've talked about this book in my winter books for the winter. So like I said, I'm definitely linking the books for the winter video down below. And it's about, she's delivering library books and shopping to a resident, and she meets Albert, and there's an older protagonist. It's amazing. I've spoken about this author loads. She is one of my favourite authors ever now. It's the most recent book in the series. It's about Paige and Albert, apparently. They're the central characters, and they've got a sexy love interest, Brody. So this is the one I'm literally saving for December. I'm saving for right at the end of Christmas. Then a book I recently bought, and I think this is going to be on my November book haul, which will be out. And this is basically, this is literally my most recent book bought. But I couldn't not read it, and I couldn't not include it on my TBR because it's set in an orphanage. It's a Christmas Angel. When Suzanne was left 2 weeks old at the door of an orphanage, it was Nancy, the nanny, who fought for the right to adopt Suzanne. Now, 60 years later, Suzanne is sharing the untold story of the many orphans that her mother, Nancy, saved throughout the 40s and 50s. I don't want to know any more than that. This book looks amazing. It's wartime fiction. I think it's sort of set in the 40s and 50s, and just looks really good. I don't know why. Something's calling me to it. Something said that I had to buy it, and something said I had to read it then. The next one is another one that I will definitely be saving for nearer Christmas, because it's The 7 Days of Us. A week is a long time to spend with your family. It has got some connotations with the COVID crisis of last year, so not links exactly because I don't think it was set, but it was about a family that have literally got to be in the house for 7 days, which is very reminiscent of the last 2 Christmases me and my family had, because last year we had COVID in our house at Christmas, and the year before that we were all in lockdown. I'm sorry, I'm going through, feeling a bit emotional today. Olivia, the eldest daughter, has returned from treating an epidemic abroad and must go into quarantine for 7 days. Her mother has decided it's a perfect opportunity to spend special time together. Her youngest sister wholeheartedly disagrees. Her father isn't allowed an option. Though when no one can leave the house, 7 days for the Birches feels like an eternity, especially when they're all harbouring secrets, one of whom is about to come knocking at the door. I don't know how this is going to be with me. Family, secrets, all stuck together. This could break me, but it's not long. It's nearly 400 pages, but it's one that really springs out that I need to read this. If anything, to remember that, it has. We've all had, in the UK, we've all had 2 crappy Christmases. Let's hope this third one is going to be really good, and I will be able to celebrate with everyone I love. And we can all do that. That's what we all need. On a happier note, we got Karen Swan's book that we got released last year. I did buy it last year, but I never got around to it. And that is Midnight in the Snow. Karen Swan has been very hit or miss with me. And some of her books I really love, some of them I've not loved as much. This is about award-winning director Clover Phillips, and she's riding high when she encounters Kit Foley, a surfer and a snowboarder as well, well known for controversy as he's winning championships. Involved in an accident that has devastating consequences for a bitter rival. Kit has never spoken about what happened that day. Determined to find out the truth, Clover heads to the snowy slopes of Austrian Alps, sharing a romantic winter wonderland with a man that can't stand her. As she delves deeper, Clover finds herself both drawn to Kit and more convinced that he's hiding something. Looks really good. Looks good. That one does look good. Could it have disability wrap? I don't know. Another Heidi Swain book, one that I got given by the lovely Gemma last year. It's Underneath the Christmas Tree, which is a sequel to another one of her books, but it's in a different series. And this is about the winter's trees. It's the home for Christmas, but for Liza Winter, it's a milestone around her neck. The Christmas tree farm was her father's pride and joy, but now he's gone, she can't have anything to do with it until her father's business partner decides to retire, and she must go back to handle the transition to his son Ned. When Liza arrives, she discovers the much-loved business is flourishing under Ned's Shoedish, and she's happy to stay and help the Christmas season, but then she has other plans. This is really good. This will be read at the start of December, towards the start, because I'm going to save the other one to the end. And then another favourite author of mine. So I've got favourite authors. I've got like 3 or 4 favourite authors this month. It's going to be just what I need. And that's Christmas at the Tea Shop Girls. I read the Tea Shop Girls ages ago, but this is the only one of her main books Elaine Everest I've not read. So it's going to be weird that I've not read the other one for a while. So I hope it'll be all right. It's set in late 1940 and the war feels closer to home than ever for Rose Neville and her staff at the Lions Tea Shop in Margate. The worry of rationing hangs over as the Nippies do their best to provide a happy smile and a hot cup of tea for their customers. With heavy bombing raids that are targeting the Kent coastline, Lyons is badly hit, throwing the future of the cafe into jeopardy. This looks really good. I don't want to know too much more about this, but it does look really good. I'm aware this video is going to be really long. A book that I bought a couple of Christmases ago, and it's Katie Flynn's A Sixpenny Christmas. I'm not sure if this is historical fiction or not. Oh, as the worst storms of the century sweeps across the mountains for Snowdonia. Sorry, it's called The Sixpenny Christmas, I didn't just say that. 2 women, Molly and Ellen, give birth to girls in the Liverpool maternity hospital. Molly and Reese Roberts farm shop in Snowdonia, and Ellen is married to a docker, Sam Amara. But despite the different backgrounds, the 2 women become firm friends, though Molly has a secret she can share with no one. Despite promises, Ellen's husband continues to be violent, So she throws him out, and years later, when Molly is taken to hospital after an accident, Ellen and her daughter Lana are free to help out. This looks really good. Again, family, friends. Looks really good. A book that Jem encouraged me to buy that I think looks very wintry. It's nearly on my winter books. And this is The Toymakers by Robert Dinsdale, which has apparently got a bit of magical realism in it. And it's supposed to be a perfect book to read at Christmas time. The Emporium opens with the first frost of winter. While the Great War rages across Europe, there is a piece of hope and enchantment in the heart of London. The Emporium sells toys that capture the imagination of children and adults alike. Patchwork dolls that seem alive. Toy boxes that are bigger on the inside. And soldiers that can fight battles of their own. Into this family business comes young Kathy Ray, running away from a shameful past, but Kathy is about to discover that the Emporium has secrets of its own. This looks really good. Then the next two books are again Christmas books that I'm really excited about. This is Merrily Ever After, which is apparently a sequel to a book I read last year and I didn't keep, which is stupid of me. So I'm going to tell you if I can find that in charity shops. But this one is, again, I bought this full price. I bought this from Tesco's because Tesco's had the pink cover, whereas everyone else has the blue cover on their books. And this is about Mary, who's always wanted a family to spend Christmas with. This year a dream comes true, as she says, I do, to father of two, Cole. This romance is originally in the first book, and then she's celebrating, getting ready for the wedding. And then we've got a new character called Emily, which of course I had to buy. And she's so desperately waiting for the new year to begin so she can finally have a fresh start. She has always put her family first, leaving little time for happiness and love. When her beloved father, Ray, moves into the house, she discovers a photograph in his belongings that has potential to change everything. It's really good. And then lastly, another book that I talked about in the winter list. And this is The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. Two things that work together. Christmas, bookshop, Jenny Colgan. Actually, three things. I've loved all of Jenny Colgan's books. This is a standalone. It was released last year in hardback. It's now out in paperback. I am not, by the way, promoting these authors. It's just that they're authors I love. And I speak a lot about it in that winter list. So basically it's about Carmen, who goes to Mr. McCready's bookshop to try and save it. They're hoping that she can save it. It's everything. And she is just, yeah, I don't want to know too much. It's literally about a bookshop in Christmas. Older protagonist, male protagonist, I think, Mr. McCready. Carmen, who's younger, coming into it. It's, yeah. Even though it looks big, it's actually only 340 pages. So, it's going to be perfect. So, that's my massive TBR. Sorry about the emotions still at the moment. Time of filming this, my family's going through some stuff. So, yeah. I am really hoping December is a good month for everyone. After the last two Christmases we've all had, I can't go through a video about Christmas and TBRs without talking about what we've all gone through. Things are still around, things are still going around, but we're all getting through it. I'm determined this year to make Christmas the best I can for my children and my family in general. Something I've learnt this year is how important family and friends are more than ever. Like, I know we've all obviously gone through it with different stuff, but my family have had a really tough year this year and we're coming out of it, and I want to celebrate with my sisters and my mum especially, as well as my family here. But my sisters and my mum are going to get given everything this year. Like, they are the centre of my world. Obviously Charlie Brooke's on here. You all know about her. You all know she's my sister and my best friend. But I am determined that this Christmas will be the best, and I'm going to go all out for them. For me, obviously, I will also warn you, 22nd of December is the anniversary of my accident, which left me the way I am. But on the other note, Christmas Eve is mine and Chris's 18-year anniversary. We got together 18 years ago this year. So I'm hoping that we can celebrate in style. And I've gained a job at the charity bookshop. I've gained new friends this last year, thanks to the Past and Future Read Along. Last year, it was the start of the year, I've made some amazing friends online. So let's make December a great month. Let's end the year in style. Let's celebrate together. Let's remember how lucky we are. Let me know what books in the comments down below that you're excited about to end the year on. Let me know which books on this that I should prioritise. I'd love to hear from you guys. You're all amazing. I'm thankful for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.